The Temple of Philae, also known as the Philae Temple Complex, is one of the most magnificent and best-preserved ancient monuments in Egypt. Located on Agilkia Island in the Nile River near the city of Aswan in southern Egypt, the complex represents a remarkable blend of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman architectural styles. Originally built on the nearby island of Philae, the temples were relocated stone by stone during the 20th century to save them from flooding caused by the construction of the Aswan High Dam. Today, the Temple of Philae stands as one of Egypt's greatest archaeological treasures and attracts visitors from around the world who come to admire its beauty and historical significance. The history of the Temple of Philae spans several centuries. Construction began during the reign of the Ptolemaic rulers, descendants of Alexander the Great's general Ptolemy I, around the 4th century BC. Successive rulers expanded and embellished the complex, and Roman emperors later added additional structures and decorations. Because of this long period of development, the site displays a unique mixture of ancient Egyptian traditions and Greco-Roman influences. Despite these foreign influences, the temples preserved their deeply Egyptian religious character and remained an important center of worship for centuries. The principal temple of the complex was dedicated to Isis, one of the most important goddesses in ancient Egyptian religion. Isis was regarded as the goddess of motherhood, magic, healing, fertility, and protection. According to Egyptian mythology, she resurrected her husband Osiris after he had been murdered by his brother Seth, and helped her son Horus claim his rightful throne. These myths made Isis one of the most beloved deities in Egypt and throughout the Mediterranean world. Pilgrims traveled from distant regions to Philae to worship the goddess and seek her blessings. The significance of the Temple of Philae extended far beyond religion. It served as one of the last strongholds of ancient Egyptian beliefs during the spread of Christianity. Even after Christianity became dominant throughout Egypt, traditional worship continued at Philae for several centuries. Eventually, in the 6th century AD, Byzantine Emperor Justinian ordered the closure of pagan temples, marking the end of more than 3,000 years of ancient Egyptian religious traditions. Some parts of the complex were later converted into Christian churches, and traces of Christian inscriptions can still be seen on the walls. Thus, the Temple of Philae represents an important transition between ancient Egyptian civilization and the Christian era. Architecturally, the Temple of Philae is considered one of the finest masterpieces of the Ptolemaic period. Visitors entering the complex pass through monumental pylons decorated with detailed reliefs depicting pharaohs presenting offerings to the gods. Massive columns crowned with floral capitals support elegant halls covered with hieroglyphic inscriptions and scenes from mythology. Sacred chambers, courtyards, kiosks, and smaller shrines create an atmosphere of grandeur and serenity. One of the most famous structures is Trajan's Kiosk, a graceful pavilion with magnificent columns that has become one of the symbols of ancient Egypt. The Temple of Philae gained worldwide importance during the 20th century, when the construction of the Aswan High Dam threatened to submerge the entire complex beneath rising waters. In response, UNESCO launched an international rescue campaign in the 1960s. Engineers and archaeologists carefully dismantled thousands of stone blocks and reconstructed the temples on nearby Agilkia Island, preserving them for future generations. This ambitious operation became one of the greatest archaeological rescue projects in history and demonstrated the importance of international cooperation in protecting cultural heritage. Today, the Temple of Philae is one of Egypt's most visited tourist attractions. Accessible only by boat, the journey itself adds to the magical atmosphere of the site. Visitors can explore beautifully preserved reliefs, hieroglyphs, and sanctuaries while enjoying breathtaking views of the Nile River. Many tourists also attend evening sound and light shows, which illuminate the ancient structures and narrate the stories of Isis, Osiris, and the pharaohs. Nearby attractions include the Aswan High Dam, the unfinished obelisk, and the Nubian Museum, making Aswan an important destination for lovers of history and archaeology. For tourists, the cost of spending one day visiting the Temple of Philae and the surrounding attractions depends on travel style. Budget travelers generally spend between $40 and $80 per day, including simple accommodation, meals, transportation, and entrance fees. Mid-range travelers typically spend between $100 and $200 per day, staying in comfortable hotels and participating in guided tours. Luxury travelers may spend $250 to $600 or more per day, especially if choosing upscale resorts, private guides, and exclusive Nile cruises. Entrance tickets to the Temple of Philae usually cost around $10 to $20, while boat transportation to the island may cost between $5 and $20 depending on the arrangement. Meals in local restaurants generally range from $10 to $30 per person, and additional excursions can increase daily expenses. Today, the Temple of Philae stands not only as a monument to the religious beliefs of ancient Egypt, but also as a symbol of cultural continuity and international preservation efforts. Its significance lies in its role as one of the last centers of ancient Egyptian worship, its remarkable blend of Egyptian, Greek, and Roman architecture, and the extraordinary efforts that saved it from destruction. Surrounded by the tranquil waters of the Nile and enriched by thousands of years of history, the Temple of Philae remains one of the most beautiful and inspiring treasures of human civilization. Subscribe to the channel and like the video.